welcome to Conversations with Nicole. Today, my guest is Cyril Prabhu, founder of Proverbs226. He began the organization in 2012. The goal of Proverbs226 is to provide children with proper education and the tools to mend their relationship with their parent and or parents who've been incarcerated. The name Proverbs226 comes from the Bible verse, Proverbs226, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Cyril is also the author of Are You Dancing in the Rain? His podcast is called Be Encouraged. I'm excited to have Cyril on the show today, and this is part 2 of our conversation. But your purpose is to encourage,
bring them together.
Yeah. Empower. Yes.
Right. So the second part of this mission is to send them to college. Like the first year in 2013, by this time we are matured a little bit. 1 year has gone by. We wanted to send these kids to college, right? There were 59 kids that were in the age group of like a 15 through 18. And we were making phone calls to these families to find out how we can help them to take them to college. There were, out of the 59 kids, Nicole, 30 were already in prison by the time we called. We were late getting into their life. 19 of them were pregnant, could not go to school or college. And 10 of them were doing 6th and 7th grade when they were supposed to be in the high school. In the first year, we could not even find one kid that we could send them to college.
And Cyril, just to be clear, these were the children of the inmates that you were trying to help get back on the right track. You're reaching out to their children and you couldn't find but one.
Yeah.
Because they're already having the issues
in the system
of not having a father at home because that father is in jail, and we see what happens.
The cycle has already started to work.
Heartbreaking.
So the 13 is the age to put these kids into a prison in this country. 13 is the age limit, right? And so because of these fathers who washed their children's feet and kept going back into these children, the second year we were able to send 3 kids to college, then 8 kids to college, and 25 kids to college. This year, so far, we have sent 86 children to college or technical school. And in the next 4 years, Nicole, we have close to 2,000 kids that are getting ready to go to college or a technical school or a trade school, right?
Cyril, I don't do numbers. I'm not a numbers girl, but I understand those numbers. This program works. This program changes lives. Unbelievable.
Amen. And even now, we are going through this journey of like prepping these kids. To me, Nicole, those numbers are fine and great, but I'm going after one kid. I'm going after just this one, that I can hop and, shape or bring them to the floor so they can be taken out. I would like to set up my mechanic shed right outside the prison walls so I can pull one at a time so we can just hop them out, right? Even though our journey is to go find a million children. A lot of times, the hardest part for us is to convince these children to see that there is a hope, there is a difference, there is a change that we can do, right? And so,
Cyril, just have to ask, the men, when they hear that their children are going to college, it has to be life-changing for them. It has to be so heartwarming to know, I may have messed up. I'm going to do better. I'm changing my life, even though I'm inside these prison walls. But this program is giving my children a chance at life and a chance to be different. Do they tell you that? Do they tell you how grateful they are?
Absolutely. I mean, the fathers inside the prison, one of the things that I've intentionally done, Nicole, from the very beginning is this. If you think about like everybody's life, right? Everyone individually, each of us have a story,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yes.
Every one of us have a story. In every one of our story, we are actually the hero of that story. In your story, the heroine happens to have a husband and happens to have a children, but you're always the hero of your story, right? In everyone's life, that's how they see themselves as a hero of their story, right? So when an organization like the Proverbs 226 come into the picture, right, they know very well that they will not be the hero of the story called Proverbs 226. Why? If Proverbs 226 succeeds, then the founder of that organization will actually be the hero of that story, right? If you take a church, right, that's why people would love to write a check to give it to the and put it in the offering plate because they will never be the hero of that story, right? The senior pastor of that church or whoever the founder of that church will be the hero of that story, right? Now, what I have done intentionally from the very beginning, Nicole, is that anyone who touches Proverbs 226 will automatically become a hero of that story. So the fathers feel that they are a hero of this story by sending these school supplies to their children,
Yeah.
right? The volunteers think that they are the heroes of this story because they are the ones who are touching these school supplies. They are touching these shoes because after they wash their children's feet, we put a brand new shoes on their feet, right? Taking the old stuff out, symbolically taking the past out, because the Bible says in Proverbs 22:6, train up a child in the way he should go, not in the way the father went, not in the way the mother went, in the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. And so the volunteers think it's their role to just like help these guys, right? The caregivers, by bringing the children into that room, I make sure they know how they are the hero of this story. We, in fact, have a celebrate event where we celebrate these mothers and these caregivers. I take these caregivers into the prison, right? And I ask these men to wash their feet and honor them for what they're doing to help that child and the family to stay intact. Here's what happened, Nicole. 2 weekends ago, I was in Piedmont Correctional, which is one of the prisons here in near Charlotte. And what touched my heart is this. There was a stepfather who comes in with their teenage boys into the prison, right? Initially, they even asked me, should I allow the stepfather to come in? Because this father is actually facing a stepfather who actually replaced him in
Mm.
that house with that teenage boy. I'm like, I don't know, kind of a mood, right? But during the afternoon, I took the kids out and I did not know this story at that point in time. And so I asked all these men to get on their knees and honor the caregivers by washing their feet. And what came to my surprise is this father got on his knees and washed that stepfather's feet and asked for forgiveness and honored him. Nicole, tell me, will their life be ever be same?
Mm. That's
I
powerful.
have another situation where a mom refused to come, and the 10-year-old boy forced her to come to the prison. And little that she knew, because they have been divorced, they have nothing to do with each other. That's why she didn't want to come. She was ready to let that boy go and see the father, but somehow the boy forced her to come, right? In the afternoon, when that father got on his knees and washed her feet, right, and asked for forgiveness. I do not know what will happen or what happened to their marriage, but surely grace has been introduced into their family. You asked about what makes this difference in this program. These are the kind of stories, Nicole, is so critical to shape the next phase of this journey. People are slowly starting to realize that they are not here to get something out of this program. They're here because they are now part of this program.
Yes.
When they do these things, they become the hero. So now the officers in the prison, when they see these things, because they cleared them, the security through the security door for them to come, they know they are now part of an eternal change. And so they are the heroes to
Yeah.
let this thing happen in this case. And so if only we can change our narrative to being a hero, to being a platform,
Yeah.
we will see life change.
Oh, it's beautiful, Cyril. So you are in South Carolina is where you started, Kershaw County. You're in North Carolina. You're in Georgia,
Yes,
I believe. And now you
right.
are moving to Texas and hopefully.
Virginia, Texas, South Dakota. And the thing is, in South Carolina, where we started this journey. Because, Nicole, at the end of the day, is this working? Or can we measure? Is there an evidence to prove that point, right? In 2012, when we started the journey in South Carolina, the number one employer of South Carolina was Department of Correction.
Yeah.
The largest agency in South Carolina was the Department of Correction, right? Come 2021, the number one state in the country for the lowest recidivism is South Carolina. Nicole, tell me if this program is working or not. Right? We've been on the ground, breaking the cycle and breaking the generational curse, breaking the power and the strongholds, right? And South Carolina is the number one state. Now we're moving into North Carolina. But South Carolina, the number of inmates has come down from 26,000 inmates to 15,000 inmates,
It's great. Yes.
you know? And there are so many other factors contributes to this thing as well. I'm not saying we are the only ones that did the work, right? But we are definitely kicking and screaming.
Well, don't stop. Don't stop.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're kicking and screaming in South Carolina. Then North Carolina, also we have done a lot of work too. But even though we have done some work in Texas, we haven't really done a large piece of work in there. So we are starting our journey in Dallas, Texas. Come November 6th, we are kickstarting our journey again in Texas from Dallas. I'm going to Fort Worth. I'm going to Austin. So then the 5, 6 days, I'm just like a traveling through Texas, and I'm taking this now to the colleges. I
Yes.
want the next generation to pick up and run with this. I want the next generation to know that they have a role to play in this whole thing. I want to cast this vision into their hands so they can pick and run with it. The one thing I know for sure, Nicole, is that I'm not going to be able to go to all the 50 states by just myself.
Right.
I need to take this and transfer this over to the like-minded people, the churches, the colleges. I've scripted everything into a playbook. I don't have a problem the churches or the colleges or the organizations to take the learnings that we had, what worked and what did not work,
Yeah.
and then take this so that we can go across this nation and make this as a platform for people to use.
That is your message. What is it that you want people to know as you take this message across the country? How can they help you do that? How can they help you achieve that?
Number one, they can actually there are 5 things that they can do.
Okay, good.
Okay, number one, they can be praying for this mission because this is such a hard core mission. In fact, they can pray for 3 things. When they are praying for this mission, they pray that not even one of these children that we are touching will ever go to prison
Yes.
or
Amen.
eat that prison food. Number two, not even one of these children that we are touching through this journey will ever get pregnant before they get married. Number three, not even one of these children will drop out of school. Those are just those three simple things that people can pray for. That's one. Number two, they can actually be part of this journey by coming into the prison and serving. So if they are in in South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia, Georgia, Texas, South Dakota, any of these states, if they are in that state, you know, they can reach out to us and they can serve inside the prison with us, right? This does not happen every day. 3 days a year is all I'm asking for,
Oh, okay.
okay? 3 days a year where we go into one of those prisons where they can commit to just one prison to serve, right? 8 hours
8 hours.
in a year that they get like 8 hours per day for 3 days. We take the kids and the fathers get a chance to ask for forgiveness, or we take the school supplies and turn the prison into Walmart. They don't need to come up with the school supplies. We have school supplies. They will be part of this journey. Or celebrate during the November, December time. Come in and celebrate their life, right? So those are three things where the kids get a chance to dance with their fathers
Yeah.
during that time. The girls get to do it because the girls have to hear from their mom and dad how beautiful and precious they are, and that there's no one beautiful than them, and they don't need to, lose their identity in that. When they don't hear from their dads how beautiful they are, someone on the street is using to get these girls pregnant.
Mm.
Right. So that's number two. Come in, serve with us. Right. Number three, we have mentoring sessions called Kids to Career. So they can sign up to have these guys mentored so that this is all happening once a month,
Okay.
every third Saturday or a second Saturday, depending on the time of the year, because sometimes you have holidays come during that period, or you have Super Bowls and things like that, because it only happens on a Saturday. So we have a schedule for that. So for 1 hour, once a month, they can come and be a mentor for one of these children. If you are a doctor, if you are a scientist, if you are a mechanic, if you are like a welder, it doesn't matter. We have channels for each of these children to pick one of these careers so they can be a mentor. So that's number three. Number four, they can tutor these children in math and science if they want to. We have a platform for that. And number five, if they have resources, they are not able to do any of these things, they want to support this ministry, they can, send their resources to help move this forward.
Perfect. And they can go to Proverbs226.org to learn all of that information. Excellent. Excellent. Cyril, this has been um, heartwarming, enlightening, encouraging, and powerful in so many ways to know what you and those volunteers are doing to change the lives of these children for better and to give those behind bars hope and a chance for a new life once they get out one day.
Yes. And the mantra that I talked about earlier still holds good, Nicole, that if we can bring the fathers back into the lives of these children, crime in this nation will come down. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that this is the only way that we can actually bring hope and change. And of course, my faith is very important, and I've never shied away talking about my faith. But at the same time, the faith connected with works, right, in helping them. A lot of ways, Nicole, we are the Bible
Hmm.
people read.
Right.
You and I are the Bible that people read. You and I are the only one we can bring the words written in the Bible. We don't need to be preaching. We can live by what it says. And so that's what Proverbs 26 is all about.
100%.
And I just want to say that, that you are being loved. And thank you so much, Nicole, for having me on this.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for what you are doing. It's much appreciated from me and so many others, and for the lives that you have already changed and for the lives that you will change. Thank you, Cyril.
Okay.
Folks, that will do it for this edition of Conversations with Nicole. Until I see you again, I hope you have a great day.